everybody, it's Christina from Redefine Creative, and I am here with a process video featuring my March How to Kill a Kit with Style, as well as my fun series that I do with my friend Laura Alberts, where on the first Friday of the month, we issue a dare or a challenge to each other and to all of you, and then we come back on the third Friday of the month and take on the other person's challenge. So hopefully you are enjoying that series and seeing what we come up with. Like I said, I am playing with my March Kill a Kit with Style. That is the kit that I built at Tuesday morning. So I have this Sunny Days paper pad, and I am just choosing the background paper that I want to use. So I'm going to create a background with this striped pattern paper, and I want that to be like part of the layout, and then I'm going to use this dark green like cardstock color for the rest. So I'm taking a second and trying to decide if I want the 5-inch strip or the 7-inch strip. So did I want that pattern paper to cover more or less of the layout? And then I decided I wanted to put a little thin border of white cardstock along the bottom, and I'm going to grab my Catherine Pooler Party Dress ink and ink along the edge. I am also playing along with Calvinball for the month of March, which is from my friend Alice at Scrap Happy, where there are just tons and tons of rules and challenges and fun things going on every single day. So I will leave a link down below if you have not checked out Calvinball and want to be involved. So I think this particular layout gave me somewhere around 14 points. So basically it's a matter of just using the items that are listed for Calvinball as part of the rules every single day, and they change every single day. So it's super fun. And so today, my challenge to Laura and to all of you is going to look like this. I want you to do two things. One, I want to see some fussy cutting as a major element on your page. So what I just showed you and what I did off screen was I fussy cut all of these seashells from that pattern paper. So the first part of the challenge is I want to see you do some significant fussy cutting. Some of you I know are not going to be excited about that, but some of you will love it. So fussy cutting is kind of one of those love-hate things. Some people love it, some people hate it. So the first part of the challenge is fussy cutting. The second part of the challenge, I want you to use a background that is not white cardstock. So either a pattern paper or a colored cardstock or a combination of the two like I used, but you need to have a major fussy cutting element and you need to have a background that is not white cardstock. So Laura, I hope you're ready for this challenge. I did take that little card also from the cut apart sheet. It says, "Let's get away," and it looks like a vintage postcard. And I want to use that as the base for where my title element is going to go. I did go back and decide that I wanted to add another strip of this pattern paper along the bottom. And I really like how that looks, where you have like the pattern paper on the top portion of the layout and then a little tiny bit shows up along the bottom. So it almost looks like we cut a part of that pattern paper out instead of using just a piece. And I really like that look. So I'm just flipping through all of the other things that are in my How to Kill a Kit with Style this month. So I didn't have the best group of supplies at Tuesday morning to pick from. So I just am kind of making it work. So this was from Artsy. It was this little like ephemera pack thing, and it had all kinds of little pieces like word phrases and notebook paper and things that I could use as layering. So I'm getting a little bit of that on this layout. And this particular picture is from a trip that I took to Jamaica, and it was probably the biggest trip that, like the first time I took a big trip by myself. So I went to Jamaica for 6 days, completely by myself. It was absolutely amazing. It was totally safe before you like freak out. But the place that I stayed, this was the little like room that I got to stay in. So it was like this little cabana up on stilts. You had to go up the stairs. There was like basically a big bedroom and a bathroom in that little building. And this gorgeous porch where you looked out completely over the ocean. Like, it was amazing, you guys. So I, of course, wanted to document this little cabana that I got to stay in while I was on this vacation in Jamaica. I am trying to use that little gold circular frame. That was from Snow and Cocoa that I picked up to go with this kit. I have it right now in that bottom corner. It's not going to end up staying there. Like, I really wanted to try and make it work down there. It's not going to end up there, but I really do like it. And I also am going to add the second piece of it, or the bigger piece, behind this top corner of my photo. And by the time I'm done embellishing, the majority of it actually ends up covered up. But you can see enough of it to kind of get the feel of having that little gold frame detail up in that corner. It is also a frame and a puffy sticker, so it gave me a couple of points for Calvinball if you're playing along with that too. So then what I'm going to go ahead and do is just add all of my shells, and like you will often see me do, I'm going to have some of them flat on the page and some of them up on dimensional adhesive, just because that creates a really cool kind of textured look with lots of layers, and I love that particular look on a page. So I have those going, and they're going to go all the way across, so I'm just kind of deciding where I want them to go, how I'm going to tuck them in, under, on top. I end up basically completely covering up that piece of white cardstock that I added to the bottom of my pattern paper, which often happens. Like, I feel like I need a detail until I keep creating and adding layers. And then I'm like, oh, I didn't really need that to begin with, but it's there now, and it's okay. So as I am going, I'm just going to finish up with all of these little shells. And I'm kind of, as I'm working, trying to decide what I want to do with that bottom corner, because I have that piece of frame down there. I have a couple of strips of the pattern paper. I'm just not really sure yet what I want to do down there. So I'm kind of thinking about that as I go. And I had one little gap in my shell border, so I needed to fussy cut one more, just so that I have a continuous border all the way across that page. So we're going to get that on there as well. And that's when this little piece I decide to take away, and I'm going to move it up to behind my little title block, and that's where it's going to live instead. And I just feel like it looks like it fits a little better up there. I'm going to break into my thickers, and these are from Dear Lizzie, She's Magic, and there's one that actually says Magic in this really great green, like pale green color that kind of matches the stairs and the roof and the window like shutters on my little cabana, as well as the green in the pattern paper. And then I'm just going to tuck some more chipboard shapes in. So they have these like iridescent-y hearts, and then they also have some florals. So I am going to go back and get some of the florals in there as well. But for now, I'm just starting with getting in some hearts. So I'm tucking some into my seashells, and then I find this little camera on there, and I think that that is also super cute. So it needs to be part of the design. And that pale blue kind of plays in with the sky in the photo. So I kind of like that little element added in there. I'm getting a few of the little florals also into my clusters. So we're going to have flowers and seashells, and those can go together, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I do pull out one little phrase. It says hope, dream, believe, and I'm going to nestle that in underneath my title. These kind of like label stickers and word phrases and things are, to me, like a perfect finishing detail. So don't overlook those. A lot of the sticker sheets and things come with those, and I really love the look of those on a page. So I highly encourage you to kind of pull those out and play around. I'm going to go back to that 12 by 12 paper pad that I had picked up. It's the project pad, so it does have some sticker sheets in it. And it has some extra shells, and some of them have some gold foil on them. So I really liked adding that gold foil detail. And it's another thing off of my Calvinball checklist, having gold foil. And then I'm just kind of trying to decide what I want to do as far as letters. And these were the sticker letters in the paper pad, but I decided that wasn't exactly what I wanted. I'm going to go with these gold glitter letters instead, and it really makes this look like a postcard to me. Like finishing it off with this big, bold, glittery title across my postcard. So I'm going to spell out Paradise Found, and I struggle around with my sticker sheet here for a little bit because I'm just not exactly sure where, like what size I want to use. So on this particular set of thickers, there are two different sizes. So they have the bigger size, and then they have a little bit smaller size. And I was trying to figure out which size I had all the right letters for and what was going to fit better. And I just had like an epic fail about it a couple of times. I take all the letters off and put all the letters back on. But what I end up with is paradise. The word paradise is going to be in the bigger font, and then the word found is going to be in the smaller font. It is a little bit different. I don't usually combine like a gold puffy sticker with a glitter gold, and the golds are just a shade different in color. But because there's so much layering on this layout and there is some gold like foil detail, I really don't mind the combination of the two. Because that gold frame I cut up, you can only see a tiny little piece. So if you're like me and you kind of hesitate to combine different shades of gold or matte gold with gold glitter, I do think that there are certain times when you can kind of make that work. I did not have a D in the small letters that I wanted, so I went ahead and took a like an I and a letter C and combined them together to make myself a D. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add some of these puffy sticker, like the little add-ons at the end of the letter sheet to my clusters, just to kind of bring that glitter element across the page. So there were some plus signs. I'm putting one of those in each of kind of my embellishment clusters, and then there's also some little polka dots, and I'm gonna just add those in some of my clusters as well. And then I felt like I needed to finish it off with some gold Heidi Swapp color shine. That is something that is in my For the Love of Homemade kits for the month of March. So it is definitely something I have right on the edge of my desk that I am wanting to use, but I really like how that gold color shine shows up on a dark background. So on that darker green, it ends up giving it a really pretty look with that kind of gold accent. And that's gonna do it. So for the I Double Dare You today, do make sure that you pull out something that you can do a major element of fussy cutting, and then you also need to use a background that is not white cardstock. No, 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 Laura, no white cardstock. I cannot wait to see what you guys make and what Laura comes back with in a couple of weeks, and I'll see you soon, everybody. Bye!